The Bezier Masking OFX plugin makes creating video masks, including masks of complex shapes, easy. Let's take a look at how it works. To best see the results of the mask you're going to create, start by adding a video clip with a very noticeable object in it to a new project. Now, find another video clip that looks very different from the clip you just added and add it directly below the first clip on a new track in the timeline. Click to place your timeline cursor within the events on the timeline. As usual, you can't see the clip on the lower track because the clip on the higher track covers it, but we'll add a mask so that we can see parts of both clips. Click the Video Effects tab to bring the Video Effects window to the front of the window docking area. Select Bezier Masking from the list of video effects and drag the default preset onto the top event in your project. You can immediately see the results in your video preview window. Everything in the top video that falls outside of the masking rectangle disappears, and you can see the bottom video showing through the transparent area. You also see the interactive controls on the video preview window that enable you to resize, reposition, and rotate the mask. Drag any of the corner points to change the size of the rectangle while preserving its aspect ratio. Drag one of the edge points to change the width or height of the rectangle without changing the other, thus changing the mask's aspect ratio. When you have the mask the size you want it, point to an area inside the rectangle, but not on the rotation circle. When your mouse icon changes to a hand, you can drag the box to a new location in your video preview window. Drag the rotation handle to change the angle of the masking area. Notice that the interacts remain at the same angle, so that they are always available even if your rotation puts the corner of the mask area outside of the visible video preview window. Each of these parameters can also be adjusted with exact numbers. Notice that, as usual, the Video Event Effects window also opened when you added the effect. There, you see headings for the plugin, including general options. This indicates that you can apply 5 separate masks at the same time. Currently, only mask 1 is active, and that's the one you've been working with so far. Click the Expand arrow for Mask 1 to reveal its parameter controls. Notice that the Enable button is selected. If you were to look at the other masks, you'd see that their Enable buttons are not selected. Deselect the Enable button to turn the mask off. This essentially masks out the entire video. Select the Enable 1 button to turn the mask back on. You can enable and disable the other masks in exactly the same way. To change the shape of the mask, select a different option from the Type drop-down list. For now, try all options aside from Curve, which we'll talk about shortly. You also changed the width, height, angle, and location parameters with the on-screen interacts a few moments ago, but you can also use the controls here to adjust those parameters further. The opacity control enables you to change the opacity of the material inside the mask area so that you can create a semi-transparent effect if you want to. Adjust the feather amount to create increasingly softer edges on the mask. Change the feather style setting to see how the different options affect your mask. When you're done experimenting, set the opacity back to 1.0 and the feather slider back to 0.0 so your mask has a hard edge. We'll talk about the tracking options in another video, so we'll skip them for now. Just be aware that you can use the masks you create to track the motion of an object through your video screen, which is a very powerful tool. Go back to the Type drop-down list and let's talk about the Curve option. Sometimes you need a mask that has an odd and often complex shape that might include straight edges and curved sides. To create a mask like that, select Curve from the Type drop-down list. Notice that your mask disappears in the video preview window. That's to be expected, because Vegas is waiting for you to define your custom mask. To do that, you'll use a new set of tools that now appear in the Video Event Effects dialog box: the Edit Mode checkbox and the Edit Tool drop-down list. Note that the Edit Mode checkbox is already selected, so you are in Edit Mode now. Also, the Edit Tool is set to Add, so you are ready to start adding points to your custom mask. Move your mouse into the video preview window and notice that the mouse icon changes to a pen tip. Click in your video preview window to create a corner point. That's the first point in your new mask. Move to a different area in the video preview window and click again to add a second corner point. The 2 points are connected by a line, which represents a border of the mask you are creating. Now, point to a new area, but this time click and drag your mouse. This creates a curve point. The point has 2 handles, called tangents, and as you drag the handles, you adjust the shape of the curve between this new point and the previous point. You can create as many points as you want, and in this way can outline any shape in your video, no matter how complex. To finalize the mask shape, click the first point you added. While you're still in edit mode, you don't see the video inside the mask. Deselect the Edit Mode checkbox, and now the video shows up in the mask as usual. The real power of the curve type is that you can outline specific objects within the mask, but as you saw a moment ago, while you created your mask, you were not actually able to see the video you were masking, which obviously makes it impossible to create your mask over a specific object. To solve this problem, expand the General options. Now, adjust the Blend slider. The closer the blend value is to 1.0, the more opaque the video becomes. Set the blend value as high as you need to in order to effectively work with the object you want to mask. Now, you can adjust your mask so that it outlines your target object. Select the Edit Mode checkbox again. From the Edit Tool drop-down list, select Normal. With this tool, you can drag your curve points to new locations. So, drag your existing points so that they outline your target object. If you find that you have a corner point where you really need a curve point, double-click the corner point. This converts it to a curve point, and you can now use the handles to adjust the curves. If you want to convert a curve point to a corner point, drag one of the curve handles so that it sits directly on top of the point. If you find that you need another point in your mask, choose Split from the Edit Tool dropdown. Click one of the sides of your mask where you want to place the new point, and the point is added at that location. If you decided you don't need a point that already exists, choose Delete from the Edit Tool drop-down list and click the point. Once you've made all the adjustments that you want to your curve, make sure to set the blend amount back to 0.0 so that your project doesn't render with that setting, unless of course you want it to. Deselect the Edit Mode checkbox. You can also invert your mask so that only the video outside of the shape is visible. To do that, select the Invert checkbox under the General Options section. Deselect the Invert checkbox again. Finally, instead of using the Bezier masking plugin to mask out video, you can use it to mask any video effects you apply to your video. For example, maybe you want to pixelate a face or other object so it can't be recognized in your video. Go back to the Video Effects window and select Pixelate from the list of video filters. Drag the large preset and drop it into the Video Event Effects window's effects chain so that it sits before the Bezier masking plugin already in the chain. Adjust the pixelization amounts. Now you have masked a video which has been pixelated, but what you really want is the entire video with just the area inside the mask pixelated. To accomplish that, click the Bezier masking box in the Video Effects chain. Then, select the Mask Effects checkbox. Close the Video Event Effects window and you have your final result. A clear video with just the portion inside your mask pixelated. You can see how with this powerful tool you can create complex masks and sophisticated masking effects. By careful mask creation in combination with video filters, you can create spot color corrections and other effects.